Hello everyone, it is me, Coffee Stitcher, back for another fun-filled episode of Floss Tube the Reboot, number 7, or in sign language. Actually, I think that was 17, so it should have just been 7. Or is it this way? Forget. Either way. Welcome back. Tonight is going to be part 2 of the Felt Kit Parade. So there's going to be one more part after this, and then I don't know what we're gonna have for extra content-y things, so we shall see. How is everybody? All right. Well, I have a lot to show you this time. I've got train of thought is what I've lost. We've got 3 whips that we worked on. We've got 2 finishes, 1 felt, 1 cross stitch. We've got a Remy Bear that can't decide if he wants to sit down or not. We've got just 1 real mention today, and then we've got a little bit of haul, etc. So, all kinds of excitement. So we will dive right on in, first with the mention. So Seashore Stitcher did this really cool antique pattern library piece that was a girl and a cow that reminded her of Shirley Temple. She did a whole series of videos on it. Highly worth checking out, including to see her tweaks. She also turned me onto the antique pattern library, and I found a couple of things on there that I actually would like to do. So there may be a surprise or two a start or two coming. I'm kind of thinking really and truly there may be some starts happening in October. I've had enough finishes. I've got 2 projects that are very, very close to a finish that I think could be finished by October, or at least close enough to finish that I don't mind starting new stuff. So all kinds of excitement there. And then I do also want to shout out, we'll mention him again momentarily, but Kenny Stitches, and his Abandoned SAL August, where you pick up a SAL that you have abandoned and work on it, which you'll get a little bit of a peek at here shortly. All right, so let's go into what I worked on. Now, surprisingly, this is only 6 days worth of stitching. A little under 2,200 stitches. Although I realized that my Jane Eyre did not get tracked. So it's about a week's worth of stitching. Since lately my weekends have basically kind of been hectic, I'm really only getting to stitch through the week. And since I am doing a lot of, trying out on weekends working on my felt projects, because I can work on them easier when I'm more tired. We've had a little bit of shifting there, so things I believe are about to start calming back down, so that will help. And yeah. So these are not in any particular order. So I worked on Jane Eyre. This is by Stitching Book Club. It's on Burgundy Truffle from Fortnite Fabrics. And here is where I am at. So I finished another section, which was Morehouse and the little side border. So that was one of the next parts. I then realized after I got done, I was supposed to come down here and do the quote. So I'm gonna try and remember that next time that's what I'm supposed to work on, because I haven't done that yet. But we're closing in on a finish. I think probably 3 rotations maybe should get it done. But we'll see. So here is Jane Eyre Stitching Book Club. We haven't had a book club announcement, I guess, since Dracula. So it's been about a year since the last one, so I'm hoping we're gonna see a new release here soon. Right. Then I worked on Meditation Garden, which was one of my WhipGo goals. It was this one is by Jan Hicks Creates. It's on Bianchetto from Fortnite Fabrics. So my goal was to get 750 stitches in. Because there were some sort of blocky sections to this part, I worked basically with 3 colors. So I got most of the leaves done on this tree. I got basically the top portion of the willow, the branches done, and then I got a good chunk of the light green. There's still another color of green to go in the fronds, and obviously a little bit more at the trunk. But got a fair amount going on it, and then I've got some border that I'll get to work on. So, definitely enjoying this one. I love its colors. So this one was a whip go goal for me. I think I said that already. So that is one of my 2 done for this month. Right. And then I worked on Under the Sea SAL, which is by Frosted Pumpkin. This is on Many Waters by by Ship's Manor. And I finished out part 6, which was this lovely school of orange and yellow fish. So we've got, I believe, let me take a look and see real quick. So I did part 7, and I've got 3 more parts to go, 8, 9, and 10. So that's where we're at. So we've got part 8 is basically here, and then part 9 is is down here, and then part 10 is the bottom part of the border. So getting very, very close. All right, so those were the 3 projects that I worked on. Well, sort of. Because there was another project I worked on, and it was a finish. So, I have finished out Shining Star by Sam Sarah. Shining Star was on Dryad's Saddle by Fortnite Fabrics, and I stitched it mostly with Gentle Arts wool, but also with one random variegated green that came from it was a one-off from somewhere that I had in my stash. So here it is in full. It does include, like I said, it's part of the lyrics from Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. So it's through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. And I love that it's shaped like a tree. It had some buttons to add. So there's one on the package. There's 2 little pom-poms on the skates. There's a star on the tree, and then a fleur above the word now. So there it is. So I started that one in 2021 and did the bulk of the stitching over just the last couple of months. Yeah, pretty much. I worked on it It took essentially 7 days of stitching after I brought it back out. So, yeah. But there we have it. We've got to finish. All right. So, that brings me both to my abandoned SAL which I'm only going to work on it for this one single rotation, because it's going to go back into the archives. Not because I don't want to work on it, but I'm already working on another design by the same designer, and I don't do well with having two of those going at the same time. So I will be working on Universal Monsters. Wait, this is a witchy stitcher. It is not a Clouds Factory. So we're good. I can keep working on this one. This one's just gonna stay in the rotation, I think. Because I really do love this one. So here it is. I am currently working on, up here, adding Quasimodo to the outside of the house. Because I really liked, he was one of the ones for the, because it's officially, canonically, there's like 40 million films in the Universal Monsters series. But there's essentially 8 that are the main classics, which are the 3 of the ones I've already got here. The Phantom, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and The Mummy. Also around are Dracula is in one of them, the Wolfman's in one, the Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein and the Invisible Man. A lot of the times the Phantom and the Bride end up getting left out, so it's just 6. Or it'll be the Phantom and the Creature and they'll keep the Bride. Phantom is usually the one that gets dropped out. Probably because there is a arguably more famous version of the Phantom of the Opera, but he is technically one of the core ones. But there's a 9th room that's the entryway, and one of the options was Quasimodo, but one of the options was my man Vincent Price, who was a gem of a human being. No notes. If you have a problem with Vincent Price, just unsubscribe from me, because you clearly don't have good taste. And I mean that, because he was a truly wonderful human being. And you'll learn more about that when I get to his section. But I also suggest you go hit up his Wikipedia, because it's got all sorts of great information. Vincent Price. Love him. So I couldn't leave out my man. But I really did like having the idea of Quasimodo. Or it's not Quasimodo, it's Igor. Igor, excuse me. I watch a lot of Young Frankenstein. It's Igor. So he's up on the roof with the antenna, because right below him is actually Frankenstein. So I decided I would do that. But slowly building up the house. So we'll at least get him finished. I'm hoping I'll get the roof completely done before I rotate this next time. But that may actually be way more ambitious than I'm thinking it is. We'll see. But, yeah. Witchy Stitchers, Universal Monsters SAL, is my abandoned SAL for August for Kenny Stitches. Which, quite honestly, that's because all of my other abandoned SALs, for the most part, I already had another designer going by. So I either had an Owl Forest, or it was a Frosted Pumpkin. And that was kind of it. Which really, I'm kind of proud of myself for that one. It seems like I finished, or it was a stitching book club. But I'm kind of proud of myself for that. All right. So that takes us through the whips of the whips du jour. All right. So my other big finish was my Nativity, which this one is officially titled Holy Family. So I'm going to do my best to set it up the way it's supposed to be, and then I'll kind of show you each piece more up close. Yes, I know Mary, Joseph, and Jesus would not canonically be white, but that's what the pattern came with, and that's what my friend wanted, so, or they were okay with. All right, so here it is in full. Ta-da! They sit fine if I'm not trying to hold them, but like on a table where they would normally be, they sit great. So here is the Nativity in all its glory. I think I showed y'all, I don't think y'all got to see this one kind of more up close. So the Nativity itself, it is felt, and there's plastic canvas inside of here that builds it up. I did raffia over the felt to give the roof more of a straw effect, which I'm actually really pleased with how it turned out. So it does stand up very well on its own. See, it's actually kind of standing pretty well here in my hands without me bracing the back. So that was the key thing. I learned a lot doing this. I have a couple of ideas for maybe other displays. We'll see. Then comes baby Jesus in his manger. So the manger also is felt with the plastic canvas inside. The feet actually are just rolled up felt. So that was kind of cool. And then I took some raffia again to make the straw on the inside. And then here's the baby Jesus himself. He's got his little swaddling clothes. He does look a little bit like he's coming down a roller coaster, which would be not a terribly exciting roller coaster, I think, giving birth, the fallopian tubes, all that stuff. Which makes me think of the Christmas episode of The Vicar of Dibley where they make a Christmas Carol about the actual birth of Jesus because they decided that that was the thing that hadn't been properly musicalized yet, and for very good reason. But here he is. I did add some holographic gold stars to the halos because I thought that was fun. So there's the baby Jesus. Then we've got Mother Mary, also with the little stars. I did use Rainbow Gallery's Silk Lame braid for all the embroidery on all of the clothing. So, and like I said, I really love these hollow stars from Cartwright's. I think they're fun. So, there they are. And then Joseph. Same with him. He got the Silk Lame braid. He has a little wig, actually. That's how his hair was done. It basically was a little wig that dropped down on top. And then the same stars again. His facial hair was really a little tricky to place and make it look the way it was supposed to. So I did the best I could. But there it is. So that is Holy Family, which means I got to start a new kit. So I am working on, and this is the one that you saw if you watched my Floss Tube Extra. If you didn't, totally fine. But it is Black Cat. It is a trick-or-treat tote. So here is the front. It's got a cat and some spiders and a pumpkin and a frog and a moon. And then on the back it says trick-or-treat with a spooky ghost. So it has me start with the front. I did go through and change most of the sequins over to Cartwright's. Now, I did ultimately decide that the purples that I had, and you'll see here in a second, I ordered a couple others. I couldn't find a color that would replace the ones that came in the kit right. So at least on the witch hat, the purple sequins are the kit sequins. But here's where I am on that after the weekend. So I got the word treats in. I decided, because I'm going to take these and put them on my desk at work, I'm going to replace, instead of just having a name there, I found some really cute candy corn beads, so I'm going to put candy corns above it. But here it is so far. I'm still in the process of embroidering the cat down. My plan is to do that while I'm waiting on this to all process and such. One of the things I like to do is I will stuff before I do the embroidery on things like this, so that you get that detail and that depth on like the leg and such. So I really love this yellow. It's called Luscious Lemon, and it just reflects light so beautifully. And then these are just some good old black. And then I'm actually using gold, an antique gold here on this one. I will probably also use that same gold on the back piece. but we'll see. I haven't quite decided that yet. But here's the beginning of the front. So, all right. That brings me to my haul. So first, I'll show you what I got from Cartwright's. Now, Cartwright's sequins, which if you look them up, their website, it's actually 2 C's at the start, so C Cartwright's. They have all kinds of sequins and all kinds of finishes and all kinds of colors, except for fuchsia and a shade that I wanted. So the 2 I ordered, because I was trying to get close, were this one, which is Wild Orchid, which has their Crystal Iris finish. And then this one, which is an opaque sequin with sort of a standard finish, and just regular orchid. And neither of them really worked, so that's okay, because I have other projects out there that these will be good for. But because the packages of sequins are stupid cheap, like they're $1.50 and you get 1,000. Sometimes it's a little bit like on 1-2-3 Stitch when you need just like one floss color, but then you're like, but it's $1 for the, it's like $2.25 and my shipping is like $5. So to justify the shipping, I picked up a couple others. So I meant to buy a different white, but that's okay because these will also still get used. This is their luminous white, which is it's a nice white. It really catches light very well and makes for beautiful reflection. And then I got their Clear AB, which stands for Aurora Borealis, in 2 different sizes. I got 5mm and 3mm. A friend of mine really likes to stack a 3mm Clear AB on top of a 5mm on like snowmen and things because it gives them a really, really pretty shine. So here they are. And I really love I use Clear AB's beads a lot. So I really love these. So, got those. And then I was in Michael's to get my candy corn beads, which I can't get at because it will disturb the puppy bears. But they're literally just little tiny glass candy corn beads. I think you kind of can guess what they look like. But I tootled on over to the DMC section just because I thought, well, I've been a little light on some colors, but there was a lady who had set up shop and was kind of wreaking havoc, and I didn't really want to disturb her just to poke around. But I did notice they had some new kits from DMC. So I got one because I really kind of liked this one. It is designed by Anna Matvievia. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. She's a Ukrainian designer. So here's how it is. And I thought I would kind of just take the kit open so that we could see what it looked like on the inside together, because I haven't seen a kit like this one before from them. So, all right, so inside looks like that. We've got some nice little wax paper bags. All right. Yes, buddy, I know this is very interesting. So it comes with your good old cream Ada. Actually, this may be ivory. Does it say? It does not say what color it is, but that's okay. It comes with, what is this? This appears to be black and white basic instructions on how you cross stitch. We don't need those in this house. It comes with a colored book that tells you about the maker and some of the other DMC collections. And I'm hoping when I open it up on the inside, yes, the chart. So here's the chart. Ta-da! Show that just real fast. I don't necessarily love that this is the way they package it, but that is okay. The piece does use half stitches, full stitches, and back stitches. Right. And then these, I'm gonna guess, will be the needles and the flosses. So, Sorry for those who are orally sensitive. That was a noise I didn't anticipate it making. So you get, there's 2 of these in there. Oh, they do send you, this is interesting. So some of them are full skein. Some of them are like half skeins. This is like a 2.19. So you get a mix of full skeins and mini skeins. That's interesting. I guess that's a good way of cutting down cost, is they don't have to send you a full 8-meter skein for like 6 stitches or whatever. All right, so I'm gonna guess then that the needle must be in this one. Yep. Here is the tapestry needle. And the remaining flosses. Ta-da. So, there we go. So not bad. It was $15, so not a bad little kit for being $15. Hopefully the project ends up being as interesting to stitch. There you have it. Boop. All right. Okay. So that does it for whips, haul, finishes, felt projects. So if you aren't interested in the Felt Kit Parade Part the Second, then this would be a good time to jump off. But I do hope you stick around, because these are some that I really like. I really like all of these, but these have a little bit, these also have some interesting things in them. So this selection is, we're calling it Halloween, Villages, and Santas. So these are the Halloween projects. I have a couple that are actual villages, which you'll see in just a second. And then all of the ones that had Santa on them or in them in some capacity. So we'll start with the villages because they're the closest ones to me. So first up is the Easter Village. Now the villages are all by Mary Stockings. So this one includes a Easter egg house, a carrot house, a bunny with a wheelbarrow, a bunny in an egg car, and a bunny with an egg tree. And it does include these little dowels and rods so that they'll stand up. So it's like having a snow village, but for Easter, and without the bulk of a snow village. So very excited to assemble this one. They also have a couple of Halloween ones. They've also done several years of Christmas ones and gingerbread ones. So I've got 2 of the Christmas Village. This is the first one they released, which was released in 2020, I believe. Yes, buddy, I hear you. It has a, what is this? A bakery, a house, a church, a snowman, and a Christmas tree. And it also includes little dowels and rods. And then I have the 2023 edition, which adds a fire station, a post office, a truck, a tree farm, and another house that kind of looks like the house from National Lampoon. A little bit, maybe. I've seen the movie once. I did not care for it, which I know is like a really, 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 what is the word for it? Unpopular opinion. I have no nostalgia factor for those films, and I don't like Chevy Chase. I really don't like Randy Quaid. Right? It's Randy Quaid, or is it Dennis Quaid? I don't like either of the Quaids, truth be told. But the one that's in the National Lampoon series, I really don't care for. Right. Okay, so move the box around over here just a little bit more so it's easier for me. Now I'll show you the Halloween ones. It's okay, buddies. I just moved a box. Yes. Y'all can't see them, but the dogs are up here with me. Yes, good baby bears. So this first one is a Titan Needlecraft kit from, is this 1982, I think? 1988. And it is a witch and a black cat on a broom in front of the moon. I really love this one. This is, so Titan, for the most part, didn't pre-print their felt kits, but in like 1988 they did, and then I kind of think they fizzled out around then. So this one is a pre-printed felt. Part of why I really, obviously, I love witches, I love Halloween, so all of this is kind of unsurprising. But I had the same teacher for 1st and 2nd grade. They decided to try an experiment with my class. So they took all of us from 1st grade and moved us into 2nd grade, and then they added 3 other students who had not been in 1st grade with us as, I guess, kind of the control, to see developmentally, did that do better for us? Did that do worse for us? They tried it in a couple of schools in my district with us, and I don't think they ever tried it again. So take from that what you will, but we all had a blast. But at Halloween, we had a paper craft that we got we would get the templates for, and we would cut them out of the construction paper, and we would glue them together as poorly as you do when you're in the 1st and 2nd grade, and it was a witch flying over a moon. So it reminds me a lot of that. So, really love this piece for that. All right. Then we've got, this one is a Halloween street sign. This is a Busilla. It's a more modern one that I got on pretty deep discount, I think either off of Hirschner's or Mary Maxim's. But it says Haunted Way, and then Witch's Way, Make Room for the Broom, Howl Hollow, and Dead End. And I did see someone who did this and really customized it to, like, famous, like, horror movies and things. That was really cool. I probably won't do that because I have the Halloween witches wreath going that I've been overly customizing and had to take a break from. So heavy customization, not really my thing on these. Then I have this cute little set that I almost started this time. That's little ghosty ornaments. This is a newer kit from Busilla. I just love this one. It's ghosts, and they're cute. I love ghosts. Okay. So that is the Halloween ones. So now we're going to go into the Santas. So first up, we've got this kit, which is from 2005. It's designed by Maria Stanziani, who did a lot of the early 2000s kits. This one is called Santa's Toy Shop. It's ornaments. So we've got a train, a Santa, a teddy bear, a ballerina, I think that's, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like a sleigh with a paint pot and a Christmas tree. Heck if I know. I'm sure it would tells me when I open the kit what it is. And then Santa's toy bag. It could also maybe be a train. I really don't know. It's an odd one. Right? Then we've got this kit, which is a stocking called Santa Paws. So it's Santa with puppy bows. This one's another one by Maria. This one, my copy here, this one's a 2007. It's still in print. It's a fairly popular one. It stays available pretty regularly. So, Santa Claus. Alright, then we've got, this one's a vintage Busilla. My guess is probably 1978, but I can't see the page on the instructions that would tell me that for sure. It is called Toyland Cutouts. So we've got a toy soldier, Santa, a snowman, and an angel. Now the interesting thing about this one is, to give it the structure, it actually includes the cardboard that you're supposed to cut out. So they don't usually do that, particularly on newer kits. They tell you to, like, cut out the cardboard insert or, you know, what have you. So they're just like, here you go, have fun. So I think this is a really cute set, and I look forward to eventually stitching it. All right, then this is a JP & Coates set that has an iron-on transfer component, and it was designed by Joan Elliott. So I'm guessing at the very least the faces on Santa and the cat and the kitty and this part here must be iron-on, and then the rest you applique and sequin. So there's not really any embroidery in this one. Oh no, I take that back. It looks like you do embroider the cat whiskers. But that's about it. Apparently it does come with metallic floss, which probably means it is crappy metallic floss. I don't see anything in the kit, but there it is. So there's that one. This was one I did not it was one of those where it was like there were two offered together and I really wanted one, but I didn't really care about the other. And this is the one I didn't really care about. But I've got it. It'll get done at some point. Maybe. We'll see. All right. This one is a Janlin kit that Bees and Teas, Sebastian, sent me. It is Santa and a snowman and a bunny on a sled, and it's a Janlin kit from 2002. Hiccup, excuse me. All right. Then we've got this stocking, which is called Retro Holiday Santa. Pardon me, I've got the hiccups. Retro Holiday Santa. So he's got kind of that vintage Rankin Bass sort of vibe. There's a bunny and a teddy bear and a really fun way of doing the font. So, Retro Santa. There is not a Retro Santa ornament kit yet, which makes me a little sad. There's this one, which is Arctic Santa. This is from 2015. It would not surprise me if this is also a Maria Stransini. But here's that one. It's nice and purple and blue. And it's got polar bears. All right. This one is a Design Works one. It is another that's actually designed by Joan Elliott. It does not include a date that I can see. But it also has now with iron-on transfers. So my guess is probably some of the felt is pre-printed and some of it is iron-on transfer, but I guess I'll find out when I eventually open it. But it's got Rudolph, Santa, and Frosty. And a songbook. All right. Almost done. We've got 3 more kits to go. This one is a vintage Paragon kit. Magnetic holiday holdups. So it does include the magnets, so I could make magnets out of it, or I could turn them into ornaments. But it's got Mrs. Claus and Frosty and 2 bells and a wreath and what I'm guessing is supposed to be Rudolph, maybe, and Santa. And what's kind of interesting about this set, no, this one doesn't. This one doesn't. Some of the Paragon sets, they only use gold beads. And some of them do use the clear beads, and this one does use the clear beads. So, oh, that one from Paragon. This one is called, a set of ornaments called Rocket Ship Santa. I did the stocking for my one of my coworkers' kids last year, and So now I've got the ornaments, which I'll do for myself. But I really like these. They're sort of retro. You've got a robot and a Saturn and reindeer and Santa wearing spacesuits and a rocket ship. And I love the vintagey rocket ship, 50s, 60s vibe. And then finally we have Moonlight Santa, which I really like. It's sort of Mary Englebright vibe, but it is Santa with a moon, and see, there's the sort of Mary Englebright element in the little town. So I like this one. So yeah. So those are that set of kits: Halloween, Villages, Santas. So the next time we'll finish up the felt kit parade. It has snowmen and generic Christmas, I think, are those themes. So like Christmas that doesn't really have a theme, and projects with snowmen. Yeah. So that is it for me this time. If you stuck around for the felt parade, thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you didn't, I still also appreciate you, but you're not going to see that message because you didn't stick around. So anyhow, I hope everyone has a terrific 2 weeks. So the next time I will be back will be the end of the month, actually. So until then, have a good time, be kind to each other, and yeah, bye everybody.